Hi everybody, this is Adoption with Nyree and I've got my lovely mum with me and we're going to do a Q&A this afternoon all about what it's like to be an adoptive family. We've got two dogs running around in the background, so I do apologise if you hear anything strange going on. So mum, first silly question really, but I think it's one that we all like to know is how old are you?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
77.
77.
77.
Well, I think the prognosis for me is pretty good. What was it like for you when you first met what is now my sons, when I fostered them? How can you remember what it was like when you first met them?
I felt quite overwhelmed to see two little human beings that was really quite tiny for their age, and felt quite overwhelmed, and I wanted to really be part of their life because I felt that might be something encouraging for them.
Yeah. So you were kind of overwhelmed by how they looked, I suppose.
Definitely.
So they were quite frail, weren't they?
They were very frail.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So when we first told you that we wanted to be foster carers, because some people watching this might be thinking about fostering, we already had 5 children, didn't we? What were your initial thoughts about that? You can be as honest as you like, Mum, but if you're really honest, I might have to edit you out.
All the more the merrier.
Did you though?
Yeah, I just thought it was amazing that you felt you could give your time to some more children.
Yeah.
And obviously give your home and your love to more children.
Thanks, Mum. That's positive, isn't it? That's like a really good grandma to two little boys who needed it, so that's reciprocal.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to throw in a silly question now, just to lighten the mood. What's your favourite thing to have mid-morning every single day? No, I'm sure everybody wants to know.
Well, are you talking about the crumpet?
I'm talking about the crumpet.
Yeah.
Okay, crumpet with?
Well, it could be honey.
Could be. Crumpet with honey.
And a coffee.
And a coffee. How did you feel with the boys as time progressed? Did you feel differently to start with about them as you did your own grandchildren? Did that relationship progress? Do you think it started differently, changed, or do you think you started with the same amount of love? How did that go?
I think it was, in the beginning, I wouldn't say challenging, but because I knew of the bloodline grandchildren, their personalities, I knew how to deal with different situations.
Yeah.
But because they'd come obviously from something quite different, I was probably treading on eggshells a little bit.
Yeah, that could be fair
because I wasn't sure whether that would be a good thing to say that or do that. So I would have been a bit treading on.
Yeah, you would have been a bit nervous.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that's changed over time?
Oh, well, I feel like they're my own.
Yeah, there we go. We could end the video there, so I think that's
I feel like they're my own.
Yeah, I would say that from watching you, I don't see any difference between the way you treat them now and the relationship you have with them now as to what you did with my 5 birth children. No. But it takes time, doesn't it? I think that's the thing to say
I think you
to
need
anybody.
To learn their personality, and obviously they come from a difficult background, so you have to be very careful. You know.
Maybe it's a different way of dealing with things and parenting sometimes, isn't it? Have you got a favourite memory of me when I was a little girl? Just to, again, mix things up a little bit. I mean, if you haven't got a memory at all, Mum, that's fine.
Well, that comes with age, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay, not a favourite memory. Okay, maybe you could describe what I was like then as a 5-year-old.
5-year-old, very, very shy.
Shy, yeah. What do you think would be sort of like the main challenge now? Because you see the boys maybe once a week, twice a week, don't you? Sorry about the dogs in the background, by the way. What do you think would be the main challenge now as a grandparent? What do you think is your main challenge? And what do you think is your main good point about it now?
Well, I've grown to know them, so I don't feel inhibited in any way that I would with your normal children.
Yeah, so you're not treading on eggshells
anymore.
No,
I'm not treading on eggshells anymore.
No.
And for me, it's brought back because I like to do things and care.
You do.
I do. And so now, because your family of grandchildren grown up don't need me.
They don't need so
I
much.
like to feel needed. And
Yeah, I mean, to say on Mum's behalf, I know she's my mum, so I'm a little bit biased. She's been totally amazing with all of my children and my wild and wacky choices that I've made. So I think you've always entered into the spirit of it, haven't you? So it's added a little bit extra to the family, more opportunities to be there for the boys.
And also it keeps me young, doesn't it? I mean, I've got to keep up with it all. I mean, they come over and want the tablets for screen time and everything. So
yeah, but they enjoy coming to you because they know that they're going to have almost like a treat time with you, don't
Hot
they?
chocolate.
I don't know what's going on with the dogs in the background, but Seth, it's enough. Okay, yeah. Right, okay, so what would you say to any potential grandparents of their son or daughter that are going to adopt? What, if you had any advice at all? I'm sorry about the dog. If you had any advice, I mean, what would you
I don't know if there
give?
is advice exactly, but just to say that if your daughter or your respective family are wanting to adopt, then if they're willing to do that, then you know it's going to be all right, because they've obviously putting themselves into a different position, giving up a lot. So they must have got a lot of love to give. So, that's how I see it.
So you're kind of saying, trust the instinct that they're going with, that they feel that they can give. Because sometimes we always imagine adopters as being a set family that maybe haven't had children, or I mean, sometimes it might be a family that have had children. It could be just a single mum or a single dad, couldn't it? So it's a case of trusting their instinct, really. It's quite a rigorous process, we found, for fostering and adoption. You're not going to go into it lightly, are you?
You're not.
No.
So I think that would give you confidence that you would, and as long as you're part of the family 100%, then you're going to get every benefit from it as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mum, because I know you possibly weren't that keen on doing that, and certainly the dogs have not really helped in any way, shape or form. So if you enjoy adoption videos, support, tips, advice, question and answer sessions, my stories, then please take the time to subscribe. See you on another video.